technical difficulties, we
I
we can
think the
do it.
audience will be massively disappointed.
I know, dude.
My whole
I know. They're gonna fucking riot. All right. And are we live on? Did I schedule it? Oh no, we did. All right. Oh, it's fucking working, Josh. That's fucking beautiful.
we're here. Are we here on YouTube now?
We're on YouTube, dude. We made it.
Oh my gosh, look at us go.
Look at us go. Two guys talking about football. Two bros.
You guys making
I got
basic
some
playoff
some
predictions everyone else.
Welcome. Oh yeah, I should do an intro, right? Like, welcome everybody to. Yeah, they'll like that. Welcome everybody to Pro Nerd Sports. Welcome back. First stream in a while. We're gonna have some playoff hot takes for you, and by hot takes, we're gonna take all the favorites, and you clicked on this for nothing. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So we gotta. I'm gonna plug it on the gram real quick because I know Luke's friend Faison. He's my biggest fan.
Packers fan.
Unfortunately, he's my biggest fan, so I gotta make sure he's aware.
You gotta make sure they tune in.
Oh, hold on, he did. See if I can copy this. Hell yeah! I look at like YouTube, it goes like the number from 0 to 1. Oh, someone subscribed. Hey, shout out whoever subscribed.
Hey, let's go.
We got one.
us.
We got one. Look it up already, bro. Already. All right, copying this link and I'm putting this on the gram story. Link. Paste that, John. Oh, I hope that works.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
Let's find out. Hey! Oh, flawless stream right now. Hopefully the audio synced up. I think it was when I checked. I'm sure they come in will let us know. Your audio will be perfect, so that's all you got to worry about.
Woo! Let's go.
But yeah, maybe if we do more of these, I can try that Streamlabs thing where I can I think it sends you a link and then you can just click it and then you'll have like your own video. I don't know if you have a
I wasn't
webcam.
sure if that was gonna happen or not. So yeah, but
I
nothing
think
too much to see. Just
yeah.
me and my big Falcons flag behind.
Oh wait, that's good. We could
Falcons won the division, man.
we could share we could share the we could both have flags. And, it's perfect too because the Lions lost their division, but at least we got a very high draft pick. They actually were one of the worst teams in the NFL, and there's no divisions full of teams that are full of teams that have worse records than them.
But
So,
did
can't be
the
too upset.
Lions end up fourth in the division? Did they end up fourth?
Yeah, they did, which is
In
crazy.
theory, that's good though, right?
That's perfect.
That makes it easier.
I was praying JJ McCarthy came baback for that reason against the Packers because I'm like, please, I need 9 to come out. Because because of that, we get to play the Tennessee Titans. We play the Giants. If I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I think next season we're probably gonna lose to the Giants. I think that's a different Giants team.
We'll see who their head coach is, man. We'll see who their head coach is.
Fucking John Harbaugh.
I think it's gonna be Stefanski.
I think it's Stefanski. I'm wondering because the Dolphins firing McDaniels today. Do you see that?
I don't know why they did it later than everybody else. Why did they
Well,
wait?
here's the thing, because there is multiple teams contacting John Harbaugh about a coaching position. There was more at that time. There was more teams reaching out to John Harbaugh for a coaching position than there were teams needing a head coach. So I'm wondering.
Yeah, look, I very much agree that I think John Harbaugh has been a great head coach for the Ravens. I mean, any head coach that's won a Super Bowl, that means you're a good head coach, right? But as a fan of a team that needs a head coach, I don't particularly want him to be a head coach. I feel like he's pretty old, and I feel like I mean, the Ravens have just choked and choked and choked again and again and again, and it's like that's the last thing I need the Falcons to bring into the building is another choke artist.
See, that's the thing. I heard someone today say that probably the Falcons is where John Harbaugh is going to end up.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I think that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to be upset about it, really, because I think he's a great head coach. I just don't think he's going to be the guy to lead you to the promised land. I don't know, but I'd rather get somebody new. I honestly don't think there's that many great candidates out there, like at least that particularly jump off the board to me.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Like Kubiak from the Seahawks. I think
Interesting.
that would be a fun one.
That would be a fun one, especially what he's done with.
I think he's got a lot of connections. His father's a Super Bowl winning head coach. You know, that stuff runs deep. We've seen with Shanahan, right? So I don't know.
Do you think the Falcons go more offense or more defense this time around? As far as like head.
I don't really.
Because I feel like there's a lot of good defensive options out there. Like I like Robert Saleh. I like Brian Flores.
I've mentioned Robert Saleh. Yeah, I think Robert Saleh. I think all of those are good options. I just kind of. I don't know. I really feel like around the league, I feel like we see a lot of nowadays those offensive guru kind of head coaches tend to do pretty good. And the thing is,
you look at the Chicago Bears this year.
Literally, right?
Still didn't get that. All right, Greer.
For longer. Like, look at the Jaguars too, right? They have an offensive head coach, and
Luke's
kind of the thing is, if you're a team that's depending on an offensive coordinator, they're gonna leave. They're gonna leave and go become a head coach. And so, I'd rather my head coach be the offensive coordinator and not leave. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Unless the offensive coordinator is Dan Campbell.
Yeah, like it's just kind of.
I
don't know. Like that's what happened with the Falcons, right? We had Kyle Shanahan as our offensive coordinator, got us to a Super Bowl. I think we came pretty close, almost won that Super Bowl. I can't remember really.
All right, Josh, we have some.
Left and we fell off the cliff. You know what I'm saying? So.
We have some guests in our chat.
Who's here?
Luke and Greer.
Oh, what's up, Luke?
And Greer called. I'm assuming she's calling me chopped, so I appreciate that. How do I downvote this? You can't. I don't think. Didn't YouTube take that away? Listen, man. Oh wait, you can. Don't you dare, Greer. Come on now, support the brand. But yeah.
You can still downvote. You just can't. Like,
it's called dislike, guys. This is not Reddit. Right? Yeah, you can't see it. But I can see, like, when I go to my YouTube analytics, like, all of my prediction videos, I can see, like, the percentage of people that liked it versus disliked it. So I can see, like, all right, well, they really hated these takes versus these are some good ones. Mm-hmm. What the hell is that? You're putting, like, emotes in here, bro.
Fingernails, right? Yeah, those are some good emotes, I think.
Top fans. Actually, it's so funny. It ranks the fans. I've never seen this before. It's ranking the fans. I don't know if I unlocked something new with YouTube because we're at 860 subscribers, guys. Look at that. But
let's go.
Yeah, this is the first. I forgot. This is like the first stream I've done in a while. Like I think it's like a 500 subscriber thing where you get these perks or whatever. But right now it's saying Greer is my #1 fan. So shout out Greer. Thank you for being my #1 fan. You're day one. I appreciate that. But anywho. Downvote. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
You are low-key looking for that job. I'm just kidding.
Thank you. I usually, I try, man. I try.
Just kidding.
No, you don't have to kid with me, buddy. I'm just kidding. Anyways, what were we talking about before Greer and Luke interrupted us? You're talking about something with the Falcons.
Something about the stupid Falcons or something like that.
Stupid Falcons. So who do you want? You want Kubiak as their head coach?
I mean, that's kind of my off the head take, and I feel like it's pretty good. But let's see how the Seahawks do in the playoffs first, and then maybe that'll reinform my decision. I don't know. Yeah. But.
And we're about to talk about how exactly the Seattle Seahawks are going to do in the playoffs.
I'm excited.
I got to say, I know the Lions are not in the playoffs, shockingly, But I am extremely excited for these playoffs. One, because I don't have a stake in the game. Like, I'm rooting against the Packers. Sorry, Faison, but really, as long as any other team gets to the Super Bowl, like, I'm completely fine. And it's just
I pretty much have no real haters in the game except for the Patriots. I'm still a
I'm sure.
lingering Patriot hater. I don't
lingering.
really care.
Oh, you're
Everybody
Falcons
says
fans.
lingers
Gotta.
with me. I think they're built on evil and tears of orphans, and I don't really want to root for them. So that's really my big team that has to lose.
Tears of
Other than that, I'm pretty
orphans.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
man.
really just not a fan of them. I feel like they're just bad vibes, evil,
Bad
all
vibe.
around.
Evil people.
Yeah.
I actually.
Evil, bad people. Yeah.
I went to the eye doctor the other day, and it's by like our old house. Luke's watching this too, so. But I went to the old house just to like take a trip down memory lane, and what do I see in our front yard? Is a fucking Patriots flag. Like of our old my childhood house, there's a Patriots flag just sitting there.
Sickening stuff.
I know, very disappointing. I'm glad I moved on to better things though. But yeah.
Yeah, it's like I remember I was at the Halloween party at my house and I found out that my next door neighbor was a Saints fan. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. What?
Moving
This whole
out.
time, I thought I liked you.
I thought you tricked me to like it. Yeah, I was so entertained to that NFC South title bowl between the Falcons and Saints.
Yeah.
The loser
It was
bowl.
a really good game to go to, honestly. I was very
That's
happy
right, you were
that
there.
There was some stakes. It was a fun game to have stakes in, and I could not be happier to say that I'm glad the Panthers won the division as opposed to the Saints or the Buccaneers winning the division. I know the
Yeah.
Saints couldn't win, but I just did not really. I didn't want the Buccaneers to win again. I feel like I had a lot of Buccaneers fans talking a lot of trash this year when they were pretty good. And then watching that fall off was pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think if the Colts hadn't fallen off harder, people would be talking about the Bucks fall off a little bit more.
Yeah.
They really fell off.
Well, here's the thing. Like, at least the Colts had a valid reason for falling off.
Valid reason, right?
The Bucks, what the hell happened?
They beat Seattle earlier this
I
year.
remember this because I remember being like super sneaky in my weekly picks. I'm like, all right, well, I'm taking Seattle in this game at home to beat the Bucks. So I'm like, ooh, I don't know. And then the Bucks won. So the whole time I'm thinking, all right, well, the Buccaneers are clearly a better team than the Seattle Seahawks. So they went on the road and beat them there. I remember Fox Sports, I think it was specifically, was glazing the fuck out of the Buccaneers. Like they were number one in their power rankings for no reason. Like I remember the Lions and Bucks played back when that early on in the season when that was like, oh, future playoff matchup. Oh my god. And the Lions won like easily. And they still had the Bucks above the Lions. I'm like, what? Get Baker's cock out of your mouth, dude.
I really did think I was scared. I was buying into the hype. I really thought that the Buccaneers might actually be that good. And I was like, damn it, bro. I really thought the Falcons had a chance to win the division this year, and the Buccaneers turned out to be one of the best teams in football. And
the Panthers won the division.
This is the thing about the Falcons that drove me crazy, man, is that we got eliminated from the playoffs with a month to go. We were 4-9, which officially eliminated us from the playoffs. And we ended the division tied for the lead at 8-9. And it's just like, dang, man, if we just hadn't lost to the Jets or the Dolphins or the Panthers 30-0, like it's just God. It's all those little things add up, man.
Like,
but
the
you can say that about a lot of
Falcons.
football.
The Falcons are probably the most inconsistent team this season. Like they win that title. They have that crown, the most inconsistent team of.
We now
of
have
the
the
season.
second longest playoff drought in football. In 8 years, the Panthers were tied for us, and they just broke it. And the Jets are the only team with a longer playoff drought.
Hey, next year's y'all's year, right?
It feels like we were just there. I feel like it
It
wasn't
does,
that
dude.
long ago we were in the playoffs.
Well,
and that was 8
we're
years
fucking
ago.
old. We're old.
Mhm.
I remember that like it was yesterday. I was like, it's not. I was like, it's
Really
not been that long since the Falcons have made the playoffs. The Jets, however, 2010, crazy number. I was not.
Yep.
I-
The
I
AFC Championship game, by the way, they made it.
Wow, Mark Sanchez, right?
They made back-to-back AFC Championship games.
Wild.
But Yeah, it is what it is. That's I don't know. That's just kind of how it goes sometimes. I saw an interesting fact I think I sent you right is that since the time that the Jets last made the playoffs, the Panthers drafted Cam Newton, went to the Super Bowl, lost the Super Bowl, completely rebuilt, and made it back to the playoffs, all in the time since the Jets have last made the playoffs.
Yep.
Which is just like
I started.
it could always be worse.
I started
It could always
watching.
be worse.
I mean, yeah, you can try. I feel bad for every Jets fan out there. Like I can complain about being a Lions fan all I want, but I mean, just putting up with being a Jets fan, I give kudos to whoever does that. So shout out Jets fans. Sorry, but hey, it can turn around someday. It can turn around someday. I remember thinking the same thing about the Lions.
Yeah. I very much think that these playoffs, which I guess we should get to, right?
We
Are
can.
the completely great example of how coaching can turn around a football team. Because look at these teams that are in the playoffs, man. You have
Really, yeah.
the Jaguars, who last year were 4-13.
Complete 180.
Patriots, what were the Patriots last year? Like a
I think-
5-win team? They were.
I think they
pretty
were also 4-13, something like that.
4-13 team.
Mhm.
Why is my little thing disappearing? Whatever. The Panthers are in the playoffs again. The Bears were terrible last year, and they got a new head coach. And look at them; they're the number 2 seed in the NFC, right? It's like that's 3 teams we saw go from 3 of the worst teams in football.
I know,
Some
like
of us were considering them to be in the worst situations. Like I remember thinking of the Jaguars last season and looking at them, I thought that they were kind of trapped and that they were going to be bad for years to come because I feel like they didn't really have a good roster at all. They paid a bunch of money to Trevor Lawrence, and he wasn't really playing that well. And all it took was one head coach.
one
and
head
not only is
coach,
their
Liam
offense
Cohen.
great, but their defense is also great after getting an offensive head coach.
which is
And so
weird.
It's just
Like I don't know
it's
what
just-
what
it's
moves
just
did
a-
they
it's a
make.
Good head coach.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just a
He
good
gets the
head-
people.
Look at the
he
Texans
keeps
too.
going.
We forget 4 years ago, the Texans were viewed as another team that was going to be bad for a very long time.
They were the
We
Panthers.
all
They were the
thought they
Panthers before the Panthers.
Yeah, we thought they royally messed up by screwing up and getting the second draft pick instead of the first one with C.J. Stroud, and now they're both in the playoffs.
Yep.
But 3 years later, the Texans have consistently been a playoff team. They've won the division twice. This year, they're a 12-win team with some very close losses, and almost all their losses, meaning they could realistically be a 14-13-win team. You know, like this is a really good football team, and all of it's coaching. And they got a coach that nobody even really thought was a big deal, D'Amico Ryans. I think he was just kind of like one of the last coaches hired.
I was
Seemed like
even-
a desperation hire, which I also originally thought about Dan Campbell too. No offense, I originally when I first heard him, I was like, that seems like just a. What is he? The Saints tights.
He was the
Like,
the tight ends. Yes, he was the coach of
You
the
know,
tight
they-
ends. But
coach
I-
of the tight ends. Yeah,
I-
I didn't think much of it at the time, and sometimes those guys end up working out really well.
I think it's just the culture thing too. It's like you could have all of the brain power that to like call offensive plays, but if you're a shitbag, then your team's gonna be awful. But if you're like someone with a good heart that knows how good teams operate and like knows what to say to people to get them motivated, I think that's like
The
something
fuck
that
going on
people-
in here?
oh shit, did Jack just join?
Is that
Yeah,
Jack in
wha-
there? What's up, Jack?
Oh my god, is that Josh?
No,
It is
this
Josh.
is Ellie.
This is Ellie, bro.
Oh, hey, what's up?
See, that sounded just like Ellie. Jack, we're doing a stream right now.
On, oh shit, are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, hold up.
Bro didn't check the Instagram.
Come on, bro.
Dude, I don't even know if I have Instagram anymore.
You deleted
I
Instagram?
do,
Bro, you sent me a post like earlier.
my fault. Okay,
It's
well,
like immediately caught in a lie.
well, Giants winning it all, and I love you guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
I love you more.
Okay, bye.
Bye, Jack.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart right there. There goes. That was the Jackson Dart, actually. Believe it or
Saw
not.
a picture earlier that said redraft of the 2025 NFL draft or whatever, and someone said that the Titans should have taken Jackson Dart #1 overall instead of Cam Ward. And as soon as I saw that, I said, I'm never trusting anything this list says again because that's such a stupid take. But whatever. Just wanted to throw that out there.
You think it's a stupid take? Taking
Yeah,
Jackson?
I think that Cam Ward is definitely better than Jackson Dart. I think that Cam Ward just plays for one of the worst teams in football. Look at how bad they looked in the last week when Cam Ward got injured. They lost 41-7.
Oh no, they
At
were
least they were being
awful.
somewhat competitive in their games when Cam Ward was healthy.
But they were only competitive against very bad teams.
I mean, they're still a very bad football team. The Giants also lost almost all of their games too, so
Yeah.
I don't really think it's a fair comparison.
I think
they're
it's
both gonna-
it's not a fair comparison, but I think based off of everything that we've seen from both players in the NFL as of now, I think Jackson Dart has definitely been the better player so far, but he's in a slightly better situation than Cam Ward was.
That's not entirely wrong to say. I mean, I do think the Titans are pretty awful. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, the Giants won 4 games, and the 2 of them came after they had been eliminated from getting the #1 overall pick. Their season's over. But hey,
I was not happy about that.
oh, that's right. I forgot Abby was a Giants fan.
The Giants won their last 2 football games.
They do that.
Ruined their draft.
They do that every year, though.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
I would say
classic.
big congrats to the Raiders for finally not doing that and just actually being bad. And
There we go.
losing their
Committed to being bad. They're in a full rebuild again, but it's gonna be interesting now. Let's
game. But I think seeing Mendoza throw to Brock
Yeah.
Bowers is a pretty.
that's gonna be sweet. That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
But I just feel bad. I just feel
Although
bad
I
for.
don't think Mendoza's the best quarterback in college football. I think it's Saxby. I think it's what's his name, Trinidad Chambliss. But
Yeah. Here's
I
the
don't think
thing.
he's gonna go #1 overall, nor should he. But yeah.
Here's the thing, though. Raiders have a god awful offensive line. So I'm almost like, do you actually draft a quarterback #1 overall this year, or do you try to build in the trenches first and then go after a quarterback? Like, you just have to accept that you're going to be
I
bad
think
for like another
number
year.
1 pick, you gotta go for it. I think number
Yeah.
1 pick, just go for it, and the offensive line it can come later. It will come later, but I don't know. It's the Raiders are awful all around. They have 2 good players.
2 good players.
For
Yep.
pretty much all. Yeah, they have 3 good players. They have 1 good player on defense. And they have Brock
Who's the
Bowers and
third?
Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty, that's right.
Max Crosby, right?
Well, I was thinking of Max Crosby and Brock Bowers, but yeah, Ashton Genty is good.
Let's say Ashton Genty.
But again, he's like behind the worst fucking offensive line in the league.
Right?
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like they're awful all around, and they beat the Patriots this year.
first game of the season. I remember that. I remember thinking too, I was like, the Raiders might actually be decent this year.
I was so hyped. I remember going to the gym and I was like, this was my hot take: is hey, Raiders might be good this year, guys. Yeah.
Nope.
So that shows you what we know about football, right?
Nope.
So,
Yeah, good thing. Elite ball knowledge on the Pro Nerd Sports Podcast. Let's be for real here.
yes. So what
Jack
is the
agrees to
first
take the
game?
quarterback. All right, here. So we'll do
What's the
we'll do-
first game we want to dive into here?
we can do this one of 2 ways. We can do like your picks, and then we can do you can do your picks, and then we can do mine, or we can both just like tackle the games together, or we could go
I
like
feel like that's the way to go.
we could do kind of like a combos. Like we can tackle the games together, and then you do your bracket, and then I'll do mine, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
All right, cool.
I like that.
All right, so wild card matchup. AFC side. We'll start on the AFC side of the ball first. We got the Chargers at the New England Patriots, 7 seed versus a 2 seed. How are you feeling about this
This is
one?
really interesting one. This is to me like you have no idea what's gonna happen here. Like there's so many things about playoff football that's just different. Some players play better, some players play worse. Some coaches make good decisions, some of them make bad ones. We have 2 coaches here who do have a lot of experience. I mean, Mike Vrabel has been to the AFC Championship game as a head coach. He's been a #1 seed as a head coach. He's won Super Bowls as a player. He's got experience. Jim Harbaugh also has a ton of experience. He's been to multiple NFC championship games. He's won a college football championship, you know. So I don't think there's any advantage there in either side. I think it's just going to be like, what are the quarterbacks going to do? And the only example we have of Justin Herbert in the playoffs so far is him blowing a 28-0 lead against a pretty bad Jaguars team at the time, or not a bad one, but just a pretty average one.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just thinking at home in New England, I think the Patriots win this game. As much as it pains me to say that's the case, I just don't really trust the Chargers. I feel like they've gotten blown out by better competition most of the time they play them, and they just don't really. Doesn't seem like they're all the way there yet. They have a lot of injuries, especially on the offensive line.
That's what I was gonna say too. Like I remember looking at their depth chart, like at the beginning of the season. Like Chargers for me had one of the most hyped up offensive lines, like with they had Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, others, and I don't remember exactly who. Like I don't have that much ball knowledge, but like I remember them getting hurt. Their offensive line got obliterated. This Chargers team could honestly be like way better than it has been. I mean, they're a 7th seed, but we know that they are a pretty good team compared to like the rest of the league. I like what you said about the experience factor, because that always, I notice, it always plays a factor. People forget about it going into the season, but I remember there's so many quarterbacks, like their first ever playoff games they'll lose. Like I remember Sean McVay, I'm sure you remember this too, like Sean McVay, I think it was Jared Goff at the time. When they first made the playoffs, they lost to the Falcons.
They did. That was and they really lost pretty bad. It was like,
yeah.
And this is where it's like when you look at the AFC all around, there are not many teams here at all with playoff experience. Like,
no, that's what makes it so difficult to choose.
Roster, the only
there's a Packers fan in the chat.
The Bills and the Texans. Like, and the Texans even then only have 2 years of playoff experience under their belt.
Yeah.
And the Bills are the only team that's been in and out of the playoffs, and you know it's not like it's Josh Allen has played great in the playoffs, right? It's just that they always lose by the just most terrible, awful measures. But I think looking into this, you know, the Bills have a huge advantage in being the only team in the AFC with some playoff experience. Really. So I don't know.
We got a little rivalry in the chat here too. We got some Bears and Packers fans going at it.
Ooh, I'm so glad that that's what the game ended up being, because and it's just what it's meant to be. The Bears and Packers in the playoffs is just such a fun experience.
If the Giants don't win the Super Bowl this season, I will drink a beer. Jack, you're gonna do that anyways. But should we move on to the Bears and Packers since they're here right now?
Let's do it. Bears and Packers, baby.
This is an interesting matchup for me. I go back and forth on this one a lot. What do you? I want to hear your thoughts first, though.
Okay, so Jordan Love's playing, right? He's 100% playing. Is that a thing?
I could look it up right now. I'm not 100% sure.
Because my main issue with the Packers is, I mean, you remember, I think early on in the season, I was one of the Packers. Unfortunately, Ian, are one of the best teams in football. Like I really thought they were so good.
Jordan Love is playing. He'll start NFC wildcard game against the Chicago Bears Saturday.
Okay. I mean, you know, I think the big thing here is that, in theory, like if you're talking which team is overall better, I feel like the Packers are a better football team. I think they should have won the game against them on Christmas or whatever, and they just
the one with the onside kick recovery? Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you know, realistically they should have beaten them twice on the road in a hard place. I mean, they did not. We got to factor that in, right? But I just overall think they're better. However, I just think they have so many injuries and like just I don't know. They haven't really looked that great in kind of the second half of the season.
Well, they're on a 4-game losing streak right now.
Yeah, like they've not really looked good. They looked horrible against the Ravens. Now, obviously, Jordan Love didn't play in that game. but their defense played in that game, and they got absolutely
Well,
drafted.
yeah, I don't even, Lamar Jackson didn't play in that game either. That was backup
Yeah.
quarterback play.
Yeah, you're right. That was the backup quarterback battle.
The Ravens honestly put up more points than they did with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and so that to me I have a lot of concerns going into the playoffs about the Packers, and I don't know, playing in Chicago, this is
You can't write a better story though. Like, I remember a few years ago there was a chance the Lions could have ended up playing the Packers in the playoffs, and I was like, that is my worst nightmare. Because I know if the Lions lose to the Packers in the playoffs, I would probably jump off a bridge because I would not be able to handle that. So I'm praying for all the Bears fans that have to deal with this pressure.
Yeah, it's really a nightmare if you're a Bears fan. I think if I was a Bears fan, I would be losing sleep that this is the game I have to play. Like, it's horrible.
First time in the playoffs, you got in a while. You got home field advantage. You're 2 seed. Green Bay Packers, first game. That's brutal.
I don't know. I think the Bears are going to do it, though. I think that there's just something about this team this year that has this magical thing going for them, and I know that sounds like a dumb reason to say that, to make an expert pick, but I don't know. I feel like they're going to. Home field advantage is pretty big in the playoffs, and I just think it's going to be crazy. We've seen Jordan Love can play very well in the playoffs, but I also think he's been a little overrated in the playoffs. Let me just get that out there. We've seen them win as the 7th seed before.
They're the only team so far to do that.
They are, and I don't know. I feel like the Bears are going to do it, and it's just kind of it's going to be a close game. It's going to have crazy moments, probably even controversial moments. I don't know. It's going to be something.
I'm excited to watch it, though. I'm excited to watch it. Like, that's why I'm like, the Lions are not in the playoffs. Like, fuck, but
it's so much more fun, right?
Whew, like, no worries. Like, I don't have to worry about who's going to play who. I just get to watch it all unfold. And as long as the Packers lose at some point, I'm happy. I'm a happy man. But here's my take on this game. Because, divisional rival for me, at least. Either the Packers own the Bears or only Aaron Rodgers owns them. We'll find out soon. I mean, the last 2 years they've split, which is before Aaron Rodgers would kind of like beat them every time. But the Aaron Rodgers did lose to the Bears this season with the Steelers, so who knows? But here's the thing with my game, or for me for this game. Again, it's a 7-2. Packers are the only team to ever beat a 2 seed. Now, granted, it was the Cowboys, so take it with a grain of salt. But I don't know. The Packers are actually the Vegas favorite for this game, which is insane to me. That's insane. I believe they're 1.5 favorites. Snack that smiles back says the Packers will lose.
Yeah. I believe it then.
You believe it? Goldfish? Yeah. That's the prophecy right there. So the Packers are going to lose. I sure hope so. But here's the thing. Like, my gut is telling me the Packers are going to win this game. If I'm being completely honest with myself. Jordan Love.
I think it would be utterly devastating. I feel like this is a huge game for the Bears, man. Like, you really got to win this game. Because if you lose to the Packers here, it's like all that fun momentum is just gone. It's instantly gone, right?
Yeah.
You're just right back to where you started, losing to the Packers again. So I don't know. To me, that makes there's going to be just so much motivation behind this. They got to win this game, and I feel like this is what they are in the playoffs. Like, if they win this game, then they're content. If they lose this game, I don't think they're going to go win the Super Bowl. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I don't think either of these teams are going to be winning a Super Bowl. I'll be so honest. I don't think.
But if the Bears can win this, it's something they can really.
It's a statement. It's a statement. But also going back to what we were talking about earlier. First time head coach in the playoffs. Caleb Williams' first playoff start against a divisional rival who's been there and done that before.
Yeah, favors the Packers for sure.
There's no weather advantage.
Love's played on the road every time, right, in the playoffs. He's had to play on the road. It's nothing new to him.
Yeah, and he's had
This is
success
gonna be, I
before.
think, the most well, he's played in Philadelphia. That's a pretty hostile environment too.
Yeah, that's
But
insane.
They lost that game, but yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what they can do here. I really am. But I don't know. I'm picking the Bears. I think they can do it.
All right.
The Packers have a little too many injuries for me.
All right, that makes sense. All right, we'll go back to the AFC side of the ball now. Also, we got 7 viewers right now. Hey, shout out everybody that's tuning in. This is like a world record for us, almost.
We made it.
We made it. Mom, I made it. But appreciate you all being here. But we'll move on to the next game in the AFC side of things, because I've been dying to talk about this game because it messes with my sleep at night. The Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, I'm so mad that this is what the freaking I hate that these teams are playing each other in the first round because I really like both of them, and I really could see both of them doing really well in the playoffs. I really could, and
I know. This is, for me, this is one of those, this is almost essentially an AFC championship game. I could see
yes, it very much could
both
be,
of these
yeah.
teams going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So,
But I'm going to say that, I've really thought about it, and the Bills just have not looked that good this year.
They haven't.
They've lost a lot of big games.
They lost to the Falcons.
They lost to the freaking Falcons, dude. Losing to the Eagles at home down the stretch.
That was
really
bad.
Kind of discouraged me. I had a lot more enthusiasm. I very much predicted and was very happy that they beat the Patriots the second time around. I thought that was very impressive. But they still went down 21-0 in that game. So
They did.
I'm not really. I'm impressed they came back, but it doesn't
All right,
really
Jack.
show to me that they're that good of a football team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Here's
you see the Jaguars this year, and the way they finished the season, they beat the Broncos really easily, honestly, and just at it just seems like they have everything going. Trevor Lawrence is playing so well right now, and their defense is playing great, and I don't know. The Jaguars have had their problems this year too. They went to overtime against the Raiders. Was it overtime?
They did go to the overtime with the Ravens. They almost lost. I think they might have went to overtime with the Cardinals too.
Yeah, they got blown
I think-
out by the Rams.
yeah.
They lost to the Texans backup quarterback. But that was middle of the season.
That was
It
mid-season.
seems like they had a horrible midseason. They had a great start, horrible middle, and a great ending, which to me shows that they're going into the playoffs playing well. That's what you want to do.
They definitely pulled it together. And this is reminiscent of the last time these two teams played in the playoffs. And I want to say this too. I know their last time the Bills and Jaguars played in a regular season game, the Bills won pretty handily. But typically, what I've noticed, the Bills play awful against the Jaguars. I remember one time the Jaguars were one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they beat the Bills 6-0 or something, a few years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know.
It's such an interesting matchup because it's rather than a warm weather team going up north and playing in Buffalo, you got Buffalo coming down and playing in Jacksonville. I don't know.
Hot, muggy, I don't know. It's just, and I'm wondering how many Bills fans are going to be at this game. I feel like there's going to be a pretty large crowd of Bills fans.
Well,
Both
they
Bills
travel.
and
They
Jaguars
travel pretty well, and the Jaguars.
travel really well.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's just so much the Bills. If you're looking at the Bills, this is my thing with them. Look at these playoffs, man. Where are the teams the Bills have had trouble with? The Chiefs, pretty much them primarily. The Bengals, they've lost to them twice, not twice, but they've lost to them in the playoffs. The Ravens, a really tough team. None of those teams are in the playoffs. The traditional powerhouses of the AFC the last 5-ish years.
Yeah.
None of them are in the playoffs except the Bills. And it's you look at them and you're like, damn, the Bills, they're a team that should have won multiple Super Bowls by this point when you're looking at what they've been able to do in the playoffs. They just come up this short in the just craziest ways so many times. And it makes me think okay, if they win this game, what can they do? They could really go all the way. They could probably play the Patriots in this. Well, they might even play the No, they wouldn't play the Patriots. They'll play the Broncos, but unless the Chargers win or something like that. But it's just, I don't know. Like a Bills Patriots AFC Championship game would be crazy.
That'd be hype. That'd be hype. But see, like you look like.
Unfortunately, I just don't think it's gonna happen. I think the Jaguars are gonna do it. And the Jaguars win and beat the Bills. That's my take right now.
Like you were saying, you look at this AFC playoff picture, and like you said, like powerhouses, teams that have been there before. How many of these teams have been to an AFC Championship game recently? The Bills are the only ones. Texans have never been.
Literal only one.
Maybe the Jaguars and Patriots went a few years ago, and then if you want to go back to 10 years ago,
Totally different
the
team.
Broncos
Totally
went.
different.
But yeah, absolutely. This is like the most consistent team we've seen in the playoffs. So like Josh Allen, this is your chance, bro. It's
Yes.
almost on like a
It's
silver platter. Like
Why does it have to be the Jaguars, bro?
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. Oh, if this was like, dare I say it? If this is the Patriots, I'm much more comfortable picking the Bills.
No, I was actually really hoping that the Bills would get the 7th seed, and like I knew they weren't going to. Like they were playing the Jets, and the Chargers were not even trying against the Broncos, so like it was pretty much set in stone. But Bills Patriots would have been. I would have taken the Bills all the way, and I'm not just saying that as a Patriot hater. I think they would have done it, and it's just Jaguars is so hard because they're playing so well, and it's just. But if the Bills win this game, to me they're the team of destiny, and they're gonna like it's just I don't know, man. Because it's just so wide open. And
Josh Allen's gonna drop 40 points and lose. That would probably that's probably be something to have. Josh Allen will have like 5 total touchdowns, both passing and rushing, and they will lose that game. See, here's the thing too. Like we know the story with the Bills. This playoff bracket this season is almost too good to be true. Like you said, there's no Chiefs, there's no Kansas City Chiefs, no Baltimore Ravens, no Cincinnati Bengals. It should be the year of the Bills. But that is exactly why it's not gonna happen. Because that's how the NFL works. That's when it usually happens. So I'm with you there. I'm with you with the Jaguars. All right, we can move on to our next game. We'll move on to the NFC. We'll just flip back and forth.
Yeah.
We got San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles.
For me, I don't really feel like there needs to be too much time spent on this one. I know it seems like an interesting matchup in theory. I feel like it should be a better matchup. But to me, like, no part of my body thinks the 49ers are going to win this football game. I know the Eagles have not looked great this year. I'm just throwing that out there. But you want to talk about a team with playoff experience in the playoffs. I mean, they just won the Super Bowl with pretty much the same team, right? And they dominated, and they just completely dominated everybody they played pretty much, except for the Rams. And I know they're playing at home. Philadelphia is a really hard place to win. And the way that the Niners looked against the Seahawks, they scored 3 points at home. I don't really think they're going to go out there and win this game. The Eagles still have a very tough defense, and I don't know, just great crowd, playoff experience. I think the Eagles are going to win this game, and I feel like they might win it by a couple scores. I know that might be controversial, but I'm pretty high on the Eagles. Honestly. I really think they're going to win this game.
I'm with you there. I think the Eagles, this is not a game I lose sleep over. I'm pretty confident. Now, this is going to be clips when the 49ers win, but I'm fairly confident the Eagles are going to win this game. Real quick, the snack that smiles back said the Bills are going to take the game because they have too much firepower and discipline on both sides of the ball for the Jags to keep up.
Is that really true, though? I don't feel like they have that on defense, really. I feel like they've been kind of on defense. They were down 21-0 to the Patriots, right? And I feel like the Jaguars absolutely have shown they can keep up with teams like they did with the Broncos, right? And so it's just kind of... I mean, the Broncos have arguably the best defense in football, and the Jags scored 36 points on them in Denver. Like, I just kind of... I like the Jaguars. I really do.
I will say... Both are top 11 in yards allowed per game. So both defenses on paper are pretty good as far as
Yeah.
that goes. Scoring. Jacksonville, here's the thing. So, yeah, the Bills have allowed less yards per game, but they've also allowed more points. I don't know what that says. Something about their red zone
Maybe
efficiency.
that shows that they're relatively evenly matched there. I would
Pretty
say.
evenly
Just
matched.
kinda- I don't know. It's just I feel like I keep getting.
That's why that game is. That's why that game is so messes with my head so much because they're two
It's
really
it
evenly
could go
matched
either way.
teams. It could go either way, and it sucks that's happening in the wild card rounds because for like my personal playoff bracket that I want to be right, that's a game I'm unsure of. Whoever wins that game, I think, can go to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Like
Un-
it's easily the most important game in the first round. I think it's so interesting and significant.
Yeah,
But whatever, whoever wins, congratulations. I think
Yep.
you're going to the AFC Championship game. But we'll see.
we'll see
get
what happens. But yeah, 49 back to 49ers, Eagles. I think we're both in agreement. Eagles should win that game. Also, the 49ers are another team that's just banged up. Like, just be happy to be there at that point. Brock Purdy even got.
It's a miracle that they're in this game. It's a miracle they almost got the number 1 seed.
That's insane to me too. That would have been a weird bracket if the 49ers had the number 1 seed. And like, but we even saw at the end of the game last week, Brock Purdy was kind of shaken up towards the end. He's gonna be good to go. He's gonna play, but like, I don't know. I don't know if I can fully trust it.
If the Seahawks defense could do that to them, then the Eagles defense can do it too. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not worried about this game for the Eagles. I think they're going to win it, and congrats for the Niners for making it.
Yep.
You impressed a lot of people. You shouldn't have made it, but you did. And let's see what they can go next year.
Yep.
That's all I kind of think.
Yeah. Next season's gonna be interesting, dude. But we'll move on to back to our last wild card matchup in the AFC. Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I feel pretty confident in my takes for this game. I don't know what you think, but I'm fairly certain that the Houston Texans are going to win this game.
Yeah, 100%. I think that they're happier to be playing the Steelers than the Ravens. I'll say that. I do think the Ravens
absolutely.
have been a harder game for them. Now, that being said, I don't want to completely dunk on the Steelers and pretend like they can't win this game. I mean, I do think they could, but to me, you look at the Houston Texans and they have arguably the best defense in football, definitely one of the best pass rushes in football. They have a quarterback who elevates and plays better in the playoffs. I think Texans fans would say, I think they wish C.J. Stroud played in the regular season like he does in the playoffs, because then they would probably be one of the best teams in football.
Yep. I mean, this season, 12-5. That's like one of their stronger records. I feel like
Yeah,
they're consistently like
really good record.
9-8 for
And they
years.
started 3
And
You know what I'm saying?
this year, they're not even the division champs, which is funny to me too. It's like I feel like they have a better record now when they're a wild card team versus when they were division champs. Now, this is going to be his first road playoff game, at least in the wild card round.
Yeah.
I still don't think that has a factor.
No, and I don't think the Steelers are that great of a football. Like, I think if you're looking in the playoffs, they're definitely bottom 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
bottom 1 because we'll get to that one. But they're definitely bottom 2. And the
Green Bay
Texans, to
Packers,
me, are
bottom 1.
really good. Yeah, we'll go with that one. It's not the one I'm gonna say, but I definitely think the Steelers are just. I don't know. I don't see it happening. Like, congratulations, you lucked out and beat the Ravens. Now you get to lose to the Houston Texans.
Yep.
That's just kind of how I feel about it. Texans are just really good, and can the Steelers win? Yes, they can. Any team can win in the playoffs. It can happen, but this is one of the games I feel most confident saying the Houston Texans are.
All right. We'll move on to our last wild card matchup. Rams at the Carolina Panthers.
At the Carolina Panthers, baby.
Yes, sir. Bryce Young, first playoff start.
Anyone that can eliminate an 8-year playoff drought, I don't care if you do it with a 17-0 record or an 8-9 record, you got to the playoffs. That's a hard thing to do. That being said, I know that the Panthers beat the Rams this year. I do think this game is going to be closer than people might expect. I think the Panthers have shown they're a gritty football team that can hang around in games. But do I think they're going to win this game again? No, I do not. That being said, the Rams have certainly not really impressed me to end the year. I think they had the chance to win the number 1 seed and kind of go out as the de facto best team in football, and they just failed. They did not do that. So, I don't know. And we've seen them lose to this team, but in the playoffs,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't think it's going to happen. The way the Panthers also ended the season.
looking like
miserably,
shit.
honestly. Yeah.
Like I'm not convinced that the Panthers are actually that good of a football team. They're obviously just like they were great in some one-score games, and good enough to win the NFC South, which is, congrats. Like, again, good job making it to the playoffs. I was really torn with this game too because I love picking like teams like that, like teams with a losing record making the playoffs. Like, it's almost like a perfect story. Like, I'm just like, oh man, like I'm pretty sure that Seattle team back in the day that did it won their playoff game. The Panthers did it when they were 7-8-1. I think.
Yep, and they beat the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah.
So.
So it's just, like I said, I do think the Panthers have a better shot than I think people realize to win this game, especially because they've had this thing this season where they get a big win and you're like, let's go Panthers.
Good job, guys.
Get their season together, and then they just lose, and they never ever actually respond to proving that they're a good football team.
Like, this is a team that got swept by the Saints this season.
Yes, and this is a team that had a chance to win the division, and they lost.
All right, there was some bullshit though in that game. The refs had their number.
But still, they made some They made some horrifically stupid decisions throughout the game, and like a flea flicker on your own 20-yard line
in the pouring rain.
What are you doing, right? And that to me is like, okay, I don't really think this Panthers team is gonna go and beat the Sean McVay and MVP candidate led Rams, right? Like, I don't think it's gonna happen, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? Could it happen?
I'm with you.
Is it going to happen?
The only thing we know is that the Panthers can do it. They can win this game. If the circumstances are right, they can win this game. But do I think that they're going to? Like, I think the Rams need to have like the most legendary lock-in of their lives, because the way they performed against the Falcons, who else did they lose to towards the end of the season?
They lost to the Panthers. They had that game against the Seahawks, which, remember, we were watching it.
Yeah.
We left the place we were watching it at because we said this game is just a blowout by the Rams, and then
freezing cold takes.
I'm like second score, and I'm like, low-key, this game is about to get tied. And I'm just like, wait, what? What happened?
I don't know.
So yeah,
Sam Darnold.
I do not think the Rams. I've significantly dropped in my confidence for them.
That's what
still think
fucks with my head.
The Panthers, I do.
Okay. All right. So we'll just run through your picks again real quick, and then you can talk about the rest of your matchups. And I'm just gonna pick them on the screen for the people at home. But I believe you said Patriots over the Chargers.
Yeah, Patriots, Jaguars, and Texans all win.
All right. And then Bears.
And, Rams, Bears, and Eagles win.
All right. So looking at we'll move on to your divisional playoffs here. You got the Texans at the Broncos. Who you got in that one?
Oh yeah. So this game is if this ends up being the game, I'm really excited for this game. I think the Broncos, they're still, it's hard to say that the number one team in the AFC and you still don't really know if they're that good or not, right?
Yep.
And it's just kind of like, I'm thinking of the real blunder on their radar is that Jaguars game where they honestly got pretty well.
They did. It was 2-score game.
Yeah.
At home.
And it didn't look as close as the final score was to me. Like, watching the game, I was like, the Jaguars are just beating them, like outright beating them in this football game. And that was on the road. That was in Denver. Now, I do think that Denver is an underrated playoff atmosphere. It's been 10 years since there's been a playoff game in Denver. And it's a really great fan base. It's a really great stadium. It's got harder conditions. It's got the elevation, which is a huge advantage. All that being said, I really like the Texans, and I really like their defense. And I think about their defense and what they've done to better quarterbacks. And I don't really think Bo Nix is as good as some of the other quarterbacks the Texans defense has taken down. And I like the way C.J. Stroud plays in the playoffs. I think that he's a really great player that plays better in the playoffs. The Texans are going to beat the Broncos. And unfortunately, the Broncos are not going to win and not going to host the AFC Championship game.
That's interesting, too, because this would be the Texans' first conference championship appearance in their existence.
Yep, 2002. Still haven't made it, but I think this might be the year they do it. I don't know. I really like the Texans.
It honestly is the perfect storm for them to finally make it. Given how weird this football season has been, it would not surprise me. All right, your next matchup, Jacksonville at New England.
This is a revenge game for Jaguars fans who remember the AFC Championship game back in 2017. Blake Bortles going up against Tom Brady. The Jaguars get a big lead in that game, and the game just kind of slips away from them in some controversial fashion. I don't think that was a very fun game to the way it ended. And the Jaguars have kind of been shit ever since, really. I mean, they've had that one time they beat the Chargers in the playoffs.
Oh, I didn't even realize, the gravity of this game would have.
Mm-hmm. There's some fun stuff here, right? There's some Jaguars fans, I think, are going to be going into this game with a lot of hope. And, these are two teams that we have not really seen proven themselves on the big stage in the playoffs yet.
I think the Patriots, I could be wrong, but I think the Patriots only have one win against a team above 500, and that's the Bills, a team they also lost to. I think the Giants have two, which is funny.
Why I'm picking the Jaguars to win this game.
Oh, man.
The way that the Jaguars have looked, I think they're a better team than the Patriots are so far, just being built around. I've seen Trevor Lawrence win in the playoffs before. I haven't seen it from Drake May yet. And I think beating the Bills is going to give them a lot of confidence, too. They've beaten the Broncos. That's a lot of confidence right there. I don't know, man. Give me an AFC South championship for the AFC championship.
That would be so insane if this actually happened, because, first of all, who preseason would have saw this one coming? Nobody.
I know, right?
And
who midway through the season would have seen that coming with the 8-1 Colts leading the AFC South.
Exactly. And what makes this matchup even better is that neither of these teams have been to a Super Bowl. So it'd be a guaranteed first team in the Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if that's how it ends up being. But that being said, the Patriots and Broncos could very well easily still win these games. I would not be at all surprised if they did. I think these are going to be some really close, hard matchups here. I'm very excited to see how they go.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the NFC side of the divisional round. Los Angeles Rams at the Seattle Seahawks. Third time this year. Who you got?
Yep. Game of the year when they played in Seattle earlier this year. Seattle, to me, has looked like the best team. I think, as of right now, the best team in football is the Seattle Seahawks.
I agree.
Anyone who remembers the days of the Legion of Boom and stuff and seeing that Seattle home crowd, it is phenomenal. It is a very tough place to play in football. The Rams have looked extremely disappointing to finish the season, I think. I think the Seahawks have the best defense in football, or one of the best defenses in football. I think the Seahawks are going to win this game. I think the Rams, I really liked the Rams. I love the story of the Rams. I would love to see them go and get a Super Bowl and kind of this last little ride of Matthew Stafford. But I just think the Seahawks are too good, and I think the Rams have been too disappointing to me. I think the Seahawks are going to win this game and go to the NFC Championship game.
That's insane. Sam Darnold. There we go.
Only quarterback other than Tom Brady to have back-to-back 14-win seasons.
That's insane. All right. Moving on. We got a rematch from earlier this season. Philadelphia Eagles at the Chicago Bears. This time, this one takes place in Chicago. Who you got?
Give me the Eagles. I
Really?
don't really think I need to go too deep into this. I think the Eagles are a really good football team. I think they're going to play better in the playoffs than they have played in the regular season. I think that that's something we've seen them do a little bit of times now. We see a lot of teams, sometimes they will not take the regular season as seriously because they know they can do well in the playoffs. The Eagles had a chance to make themselves the number 2 seed, and they didn't even really take it. This game could be being played in Philadelphia, but they decided to not play their starters against Washington. All that being said, I think the Eagles are a much better football team than the Chicago Bears are, and I think they're going to go back to the NFC Championship game.
Wow. And you know what's funny? Funny thing too about the Eagles. Looking at back to last season, there's only one team that was a repeat division winner, and that team was the Eagles. Which is funny because the NFC East hadn't had a repeat division winner in 20 years.
Isn't it great? Isn't it just great how this is a
Like,
great season?
what the fuck? What is happening?
Mhm.
I have no fucking clue. But anyways, so your conference championship matchups are as follows. You got the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. In Jacksonville, AFC South matchup. And then in the NFC, you got the Philadelphia Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champions, headed into Seattle. Another thing we want to mention, Seattle, every time they have been the number 1 seed, has gone to the Super Bowl.
That is a fun fact I did not know.
So, AFC, who you think you got? Texans at Jaguars.
Oh, see, this is such a hard decision. I mean, I'm looking at it. This would be such a great run by both teams. The Jaguars would beat the Bills and Patriots to get here to host the game. The Texans would take 2 on the road, and then you have this matchup where they're both going at full strength. The things that just kind of get me here is I don't know. I think that the Texans have a better defense, and I think that they just have shown, like, I love what I've seen from C.J. Stroud in the playoffs. I think they've been really good down. I mean, they were 3-5, and they haven't lost a game since they were 3-5.
That's insane, too. I didn't think
Good.
they're on that big of a
Yeah.
win streak. Oh,
Yes,
man.
they're on a huge win streak right now. This may be crazy to say, and I hate to pick against the Jaguars. 'Cause I
Wow.
love the Jaguars, but the Houston Texans are going to go to the Super Bowl, win 3 road games as a wild card team, and they're going to make their first Super Bowl in franchise history. And Trevor Lawrence and the Jags are going to have to wait at least another year. I think that's my prediction.
If this
I like
happened-
that the Texans come in with a little bit more playoff experience. That to me is a significant factor, I think.
Yeah, and here's the thing, too. If this were to happen, do you know the heat, like, of the rivalry that we'd have turn up? Because I feel like the AFC South is one of the divisions where there's, like, very little rivalry. I mean, I guess maybe not, because I feel like, Tennessee and Houston have that sort of beef over the Oilers and whatnot, and then you got the
Yeah.
Titans and Jaguars always playing each other on Thursday Night Football back when they both sucked. And like everyone probably hates the Colts because they used to win it all the time. But this would cement, like, Jaguars fans, 5 of them that are out there, are going to be pissed if this happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be, I don't know, and I'm looking back, and the Texans played against the Chiefs last year in the divisional round. It's a weird game. 23-14 was the final score by the Chiefs, but I think that shows that the Texans, they've shown that they can at least go and play with a team like the Chiefs last year with 15-2, can at least compete with them, right? And that's a big step up from when they lost 35-10 to the Baltimore Ravens a few seasons ago in the playoffs. It just seems like they're getting better every year. They're just getting better. They've done good in the playoffs. I just trust them more. I don't know, but I don't know, man. I think it would be really exciting, man. The Texans are a fun team. Jaguars are a fun team. I would love it if either of these teams makes the Super Bowl. I'd be rooting for the Jaguars. Just want to throw that out there because my sister's a big Jaguars fan.
That
I do
T-Law
just,
connection.
I don't know. I like the Texans too.
All right.
Yep, Trevor Lawrence, Clemson.
That'd be a fun conference championship, AFC championship for sure. No teams, no hatred for any teams among the NFL community. Unlike on the other side, where we got the NFC, where we got
Yeah.
the Philadelphia Eagles, the big bad birds, versus I don't know if people, versus the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle. Who you got?
Same thing I kind of said for the round before. The best team in football this year so far has been the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle is an incredibly difficult place to play. The Eagles, for as much as I have maybe hyped on them for these playoffs, I think that they've had some significantly inferior competition to get to the Seahawks here. I think the 49ers are much worse. The 49ers and Bears are not the same level as the Seahawks. I just want to throw that out there. That's my genuine opinion. So I'm not. I think the Eagles are good enough to beat those teams. Do I think the Eagles are good enough to go on the road in the NFC Championship game with how they've looked this season and beat the Seattle Seahawks? No, I don't think they can do that. I think the Seahawks are going to go to the Super Bowl.
There you
continue
go.
that streak of number 1 seed Super Bowl runs. And Seattle's just too hard of a place to play. They have looked too good down the stretch of the season. Their defense is good. Their offense is good. The real caveat is how is Sam Darnold going to play? I don't know.
Yeah.
He could play
I'm
awful.
I'm worried about Sam Darnold shitting his pants at any given point. But
and it could happen. And
Seattle is
it
a
could
great
be
place
the
to
fans
play,
going
though.
back to Philadelphia.
Like, those fans are going to be loud.
That's my thing, right? And it seems like late down the stretch, when the Seattle's offense has faltered, their defense seems to pick it up. Like against the Rams, right? Or their special teams. Against the Rams, it was a punt return.
Yeah, it was.
Touchdown.
Rashid
back into that
Shaheed.
game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, it just seems like even if the offense doesn't get the spark, something else does. Against the Niners, it was 13-3. Like, it was not a good game, really, by the Seattle offense at all. If you'd gone before the game and said you're going to score 13 points, you would have said, oh, shit, we lost that game, but they did not. And so it's just kind of, I think Seattle's going to, I don't know, I think that they find some way to win even when their offense doesn't play as well, which is why I'm not as worried about them. And I think they're going to go to the Super Bowl. And I don't know, I feel pretty confident about a Seattle Super Bowl pick. I feel much less confident about a Texans one, but this is a fun Super Bowl matchup.
That's what I'm going to say, too, because this is such a goofy matchup. Texans versus Seattle in Santa Clara for, I don't even know which number Super Bowl.
Stadium.
Oh, that'd be, people would be fuming. But hey, those Seahawks fans can travel too, though. That's not a far journey for them.
They will be traveling.
They will be.
I very much think this would be a Seahawks. I think they might have a larger crowd at this game if that's the case. It's closer.
Yeah.
It's their rival stadium. That gives you some more. And Seahawks fans are just so passionate. I think.
They are.
This is a really interesting Super Bowl matchup. I think that quarterback favors Texans here. I think that defense is pretty evenly matched. Gosh, on paper, this is a really good Super Bowl, but
This would be a fun one to watch. This would be.
ooh, yeah, this would be really fun. I think it would be really close. I think there might be a bit of a slog fest. I feel like defense is going to dominate this Super Bowl.
That's true.
Might be like the last Super Bowl that was played in Santa Clara when the Broncos beat the Panthers, and it was just a defensive slugfest.
As long as there's some defensive scoring, like touchdowns, pick sixes, fumble returns. Like, I know Sam Darnold's for sure throwing a pick six.
Sam Darnold's throwing a pick six on the first play.
For sure. Sam Darnold
It's
actually.
gonna be good.
Sam Darnold's
Yeah,
first.
like defensive lineman, yeah.
Sam Darnold's first NFL pass was a pick six against the Lions, and the Jets went on to win on that.
That genuine shock, yeah. Which they
And
won the game.
then they
That's
beat
exactly
some
what
fucking
it
ass. They beat us like 45-17 or something like that.
Sam Darnold's going to throw a pick six on the first play of the game,
And the Seahawks will-
still going to win the Super Bowl.
Is that who you?
The Seahawks win the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, look at the fun little animation here. So you got Seattle Seahawks. Honestly, I haven't really seen a whole lot of people picking the Seahawks to win. I feel like, I
think they have an easy path to make the Super Bowl. I know they've got tough teams. I just think their home field advantage is so good, and their defense is so good.
that's the thing.
I think they're going to make the Super Bowl because of that. The thing is, are they going to win the Super Bowl? That's a much harder question. but I think they have a pretty high chance.
At the Texans, if this is if I'm picking this Super Bowl matchup between the Texans and the Seahawks, I would probably go Seattle.
Yeah, I feel good about Seattle. I feel so good about them going down to end the year. They're so good. Their coach has proven himself time and time again. I think the Ravens looked a lot worse without him on their team. I love the Seahawks.
I didn't even think about that.
Their offensive coordinator is going to come coach the Falcons, right?
I'm sure.
But yeah.
All right, there you have it. Those are Josh's Super Bowl. That's Josh's playoff bracket right there. Texans, Seattle Super Bowl with the Seattle Seahawks getting it done. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go through my picks now. AFC side of the ball, I think I 100% agree with you. Patriots, I got the Jaguars getting it done against the Buffalo Bills. I think, again, two evenly matched teams, but I think the Jaguars have been slightly more impressive offensively, and they're at home, and I think there's just so much momentum and so much moxie around them right now compared to the Bills, where they lost to Philadelphia recently. And, the Jaguars always give the Bills trouble. Like, I got to go Jacksonville at home. Patriots, I think Patriots and Chargers will be a good game. I think the Chargers will put up a fight. Justin Herbert, I think he's heavily underrated, in my opinion. I think he does put up great numbers consistently every season. Now, have we seen that in the playoffs yet? No. And I think given that track record going into New England as a 7th seed, taking on the 2 seed, it's a tough environment to play in. I'm sticking with the Patriots there. And like we talked about earlier, I think the Texans should absolutely beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'll be very surprised if the Steelers win that game. On the NFC side of the ball, going Green Bay Packers. I think that's the story, how it goes. NFC North team wins the division. They play the Packers in the playoffs. Packers are going to win that game. That seems like how it usually goes down. Jordan Love's healthy. He's playing. And I think the Packers' experience alone will get them the win over the Chicago Bears. We talked about this earlier, too.
I think that might be the one pick I have the least confidence in, is picking the Bears to win that game. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like it. I like the idea. It's the timeline I want to happen. But, yeah, we'll see.
All right. 49ers, Eagles. Again, very confident that the Eagles are going to win this game. Same thing here, Rams and Panthers. I'm not as confident, obviously, because the Panthers did beat the Rams earlier this year. But I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Rams. We're not going to get too crazy with it. I know this live stream is called Hot Takes or whatever, but I don't know.
They're going to win the freaking Super Bowl. You heard it here first.
I keep seeing this image of like Plants vs. Zombies. Where it's like we're here to eat your brains from the zombies. I've seen a post on Instagram. It's just like a picture saying, "We're here to slime you out." The Carolina Panthers.
Yep. And the Carolina Panthers, man, if they start sliming people in these playoffs, I won't even be too upset. I would be like, I don't want them to win the Super Bowl because then the Falcons are the only team without a Super Bowl win in the division. But it would be pretty freaking fun.
That's part of. I will say your Texans and Jaguars matchup. Part of me is just like, fuck. I really hope that doesn't happen because I want the Lions to be the next team to get to a Super Bowl first. I don't want one of these newbies to get in first. But we'll move on to my AFC side of the ball. You had the same matchups for both of these. Texans at the Broncos. This is a rematch from a game that happened way early on in the season. Again, we see the Broncos. Oh, this is actually a really tough one for me. Both of these matchups are really tough for me because obviously, who's been the better team as of recent? Definitely the Houston Texans. Broncos had that awful loss against the Jaguars at home. And a bunch of their wins are one-score games against teams like the Jets and the Raiders. Like, they just really aren't that good. They're not good enough for me to consider them like a true number 1 seed. Like, I look at that, I'm like, all right, this is a number 1 seed that can be beaten. But here's the thing, though.
Like a Tennessee Titans number 1 seed, like
yeah.
When they were the number 1 seed.
And the Bengals beat them.
Yeah, they're the number 1 seed, but are they the best team in football?
No. And the AFC?
I think that.
No.
I think that even Broncos fans would tell you, I don't think that they think they are the best team in football. I don't know. It's just, but it's a great opportunity and it's a great home field advantage. I loved so much about the Seahawks one. I I think the Broncos have a fantastic home field advantage too. I just don't think they're as good of a team as the Seahawks are.
Yeah.
And I think the Texans are really good, and I think they're going to beat them. But
These are two good, great defenses.
I'm not-
Yeah. And, you know, the
Broncos have
Texans,
an amazing, right?
Texans, a team that's never been to the conference championship. So this is a good chance for them to get there. But I got to go Denver. Denver at home, number 1 seed against the playoffs. Like, are they worthy, good enough to be considered number 1 seed? Not in my book, but home field advantage in the playoffs. Sean Payton in the playoffs. It's going to be a good game regardless. But I got the Denver Broncos moving on. Now this game,
And I'd be very happy if they did. I love the Broncos. I'd be excited. My personal take is I think the Texans are better. But
yeah.
yeah.
This game honestly makes me lose more sleep than the one before, because this one I genuinely like. This could go either way. If this is the Bills, I think again it could go either way. The Patriots, they're playing bad teams, but they're beating them by 30. That's the thing
They're a really good football team, and Vrabel has the experience. He's taken, in my opinion, a significantly worse Tennessee Titans team
Yes.
to an AFC Championship game as well, to a number 1 seed as well.
And
This Patriots team, yeah,
this Patriots team will most likely have the MVP on it, Drake May.
yeah, literally, right?
Their defense, I would argue, is better than the Jaguars. Exactly, because this will be his second playoff start. Trevor Lawrence, been there, done that before, has not won in the divisional round. That's what haunts me about this game. I'm going with the Patriots at home. Hot takes. I'm taking the 1 and 2 seed to go to the.
Broncos were in the AFC Championship game. They beat the Patriots in the AFC Championship
to go to the Super Bowl.
10 years ago.
Oh, dude, don't say
Peyton
it.
Manning in his
That
life.
makes me feel so
That's how
old.
it's been.
That makes me feel so old.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I know that's pretty chalk right there for the AFC. We'll move on to the NFC side of things. The Packers at the Seahawks. Again, I don't trust Sam Darnold in the playoffs yet. I know. I just think back to how he performed against Detroit Week 18 last season, and again against the Rams in the wild card round last season with the Vikings. I feel like, but now granted, that was last season. He's obviously learned from those experiences. He was able to beat the Rams, a much better Rams team, this season.
With a very banged up offensive line for the Vikings, I want to add. I mean, they were on life support by the end of that season for the offensive line, if I remember correctly. Really, when was it their center or someone like that? They tore his ACL.
I don't remember.
Or something.
I think he did.
Did
He? I think he did it against Detroit in that Week 18 game.
And just that's what it was, and they were just
That was,
never the same.
you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, because that Lions game was a close game, and then I think after he got hurt, Jahmyr Gibbs is like.
Yeah.
So
it's just kind of.
I know he doesn't play defense.
It's very fun to think about. I mean, I think if it's Seattle Packers, I feel like this very heavily in Seattle.
This is a very classic playoff matchup too. I feel like this matchup happens all the time, especially seasons when Packers, when Seahawks goes to the. Yeah, I do remember that.
Ooh, that was a fun one.
But I think
that's one of my favorite playoff games of all time.
That's honestly probably one of the greatest
Onside
playoff games. Yes, that's one of the greatest playoff games. That was my first season one of my first seasons watching football, and I remember watching that game, being so pissed that the Packers were about to go to the Super Bowl. But lucky enough for me, the Seattle Seahawks came through and won that game. I think, the Packers beating the Bears, that's a good story. Obviously, the Packers got more experience in Chicago. Sam Darnold, like we said, has experience under his belt now. It's not his first time in the playoffs. It's not this rodeo. I think the Seattle defense is a lot better than the Green Bay defense. I think the Seattle gets it done at home. We also talked about that home field advantage. Now we get into the Rams at the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm putting a lot of faith in here.
I would love to see this matchup. I would love
This
to see this matchup.
this happened last season in the divisional round. Amazing game. The Rams
Ruined by snow, man.
The Rams almost won that fucking game against the Super Bowl, then Super Bowl champions.
They looked so good in that game. I was like so mad they did not win that game. Like, I'm not even the biggest Eagles hater in the world. I loved the way the Rams played in that game, and they were just, and then it started snowing, and they just kept fumbling the ball, bro. It was awful. And they still almost won. Almost won at the end.
Oh,
And
man.
So
I'm so glad this matchup gets to happen again. This happened in the regular season too, and I believe the Eagles won off of a blocked field goal or something like that.
Yep. They had back-to-back blocked field goals, didn't they? And then Jordan Davis, or whatever his name is, ran it all the way back for a touchdown to end the game. It was just brutal. But if I were picking this one, I take the Rams to win this game. I think there's a big revenge factor here, and the Rams want to prove themselves. And I would love the Rams in this game if this is the matchup.
And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I got the Rams beating the Philadelphia Eagles on the road. That's gonna be, if this happens, it'll be such a great game. I think. So we got a couple of rematches.
These would be some great championship games.
We got some good matchups here. Obviously, the history between the Patriots and the Broncos, Brady, Manning, rivalry 10 years ago. That'd be so crazy for that to happen 10 years later. Like we said earlier, Patriots haven't played a whole lot of good teams. Granted, they're beating these terrible teams by a lot of points. Like, I think as long as these games aren't close, that's valid to me. Like, all right, I get it. Like, you're used to beating the fuck out of teams. The Broncos are not a team that is accustomed to beating the fuck out of teams. They do win a lot of football games. And, it doesn't really matter how or why you win them as long as you do win them. And they do. But like you said earlier, they had that game against Jacksonville a few weeks ago where they lost by double digits at home. And that, for me...
But I do want to point out, I think that, sorry to cut you off there, but I think that the Broncos' close wins are a big advantage for them in the playoffs. I think close
that's an interesting
wins are
take.
very good for your team. I think
That's
that
true.
It shows you that. I think that it because you get in the playoffs, most games you play are close, and it's just better to be accustomed to playing in close games. I think, like just to, not like to know how to deal with the pressure, to know how to like be clutch in those moments. It's easier when you've done it throughout the season.
I've never thought about that, but I definitely see what you're saying there. Like, that's incredible asset to have too, and also I think that's attests to like how good the coaching really is on the team, and how smart the team
It
is.
seems like the Jets, I'm a little more afraid. But
it was against the Jets and the Raiders, but
yeah, that makes me nervous. But
they are wins. So it really, that would come down to how close is this game going to get. Like, if you're going to beat the Broncos, you got to manhandle them like the Jaguars did.
Yeah.
And I honestly think this 3-2 matchup, I think the winner of this game, also, if it's the Bills the other way around, I think the winner of that game is going to go to the Super Bowl. So I'm picking the Patriots to get back to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying this actually, like, the Patriots fall apart, rebuild, and reach a Super Bowl before the Bills do with Josh Allen.
God, could you imagine if they imagine if it's Patriots-Bills AFC Championship game and the Patriots win and go on and win the Super Bowl? God, it'd be like the worst. It'd be like, at that point that the Buffalo Bills are just a cursed franchise.
Yep.
I'm really hoping that's not the case. But the Patriots going to the Super Bowl is not at all surprising. If Drake May comes out and plays like he has in the regular season, then they have a really great shot to make the Super Bowl. As much as it pains me to say that. And their defense has played great this year. They have
That's
a great
the thing.
head coach who's been in these moments before.
I trust Vrabel, man.
Not that Sean Payton hasn't, but Sean Payton also has a lot of bad playoff losses under his belt too. That's what I heard a Broncos fan tell me, is he actually was a little nervous about Sean Payton's playoff record. I know they won a Super Bowl. There's also a lot of really bad.
Yeah, they lost to the Vikings. They lost to the 6 seed Vikings that one year.
Close ones to the Niners. They lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs. They lost to the Vikings twice in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, Minneapolis Miracle, but then they had the home game, which is like, oh yeah, the Saints should win this game. and then they had the game against Brady for the third time. The Saints swept them in the regular season, lost in the playoffs.
Yep.
So that's
So,
yeah,
there's
that's
some things to consider there with that. 'Cause
Absolutely.
I have heard a Broncos fan mention that to me, and that's what his take was, and I was surprised by that. I was like, wow, I never would have thought that would be a negative going into the playoffs, but like it low key kind of is. You know, he hasn't had he had one
It's valid.
season where it worked out great.
yeah.
You know, and that's all you need, right? You only need that one season to be validated, right?
Yeah.
But still, you know, after that, there's been a lot of issues, right? So we'll see. But
Yeah. All right. NFC side of things. Rams at the Seahawks for the third time this season. Every game so far has been a one-score game, with these two playing against each other in the playoffs for a trip to the Super Bowl. Seattle, this season, they've already played in a game against the 49ers that decided their fate for the number one seed, the NFC West title, and they handled that game completely well. But granted, that is against the banged-up 49ers team. This is the Los Angeles Rams. Sean Payton, Matthew Stafford, been there, done that before. Are able to win playoff games. We know this. They've been here. They have the experience. Who's looked better towards the end of the season? Definitely the Seahawks, even though I do think the Rams, in the games that they have played against the Seahawks, the Rams have been the better team most of the time. They did some fuck shit
Yeah, I agree.
the last time they played in Seattle. There was some goofiness going on there. So Rams at the Seahawks. Now the Seahawks, again, like we said, every time they've been a number one seed, they've gone to the Super Bowl. And honestly, like when you think back to it, like how many home playoff games have the Seahawks lost when we remember? Like they beat, I'm pretty sure, Dallas one year. And now granted, it's been kind of spotty in the NFC West. I can't remember.
No, man, I'm trying to think.
That might have been honestly, that might have been a road game. They might have played in Dallas. I don't remember.
Gosh, I really like. I'm literally. I love to study, you know, older playoffs because I'm a nerd. But I'm trying to think.
Maybe they.
Think of the last time they lost a playoff game at home. I know they lost to like the Panthers there in like 2006 or something like that. I can't think of many other times they lost at home in the playoffs.
I'm pretty sure.
They beat the reigning Super Bowl champions as a 7-9 team with a negative 93 point differential, and they were so loud in that stadium they made a mini earthquake. Like this is a hard place to play, man.
All right, Josh. In 2020-2021 season, the Seattle Seahawks
They lost to the Rams.
lost to the Rams at home in Seattle, which is exactly why.
That was the COVID year.
That was the COVID year. But that's why I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams. So we get yet another
I like it.
Patriots-Rams Super Bowl. Third time this
Rematch.
century. And the Rams have not won yet. They're 0-2. Patriots have won both of them.
You're right.
No Tom Brady. Worth noting. This is a West Coast game. So the Patriots are going to have to travel. Rams get to stay in California. If you look at these two teams, these are two very evenly matched teams. Like their defenses are, I was looking at it earlier, are about the same. Offenses are about the same as far as, you know, yards per game, yards allowed per game. There is one glaring hole though. That's the Patriots offensive line. According to Pro Football Focus, I don't have any attest to this with my own eyes, but the Patriots offensive line is not that good. So for that reason, that's the only thing separating these two teams. I'm giving the Rams the Super Bowl title. I know they looked shaky towards the end of the season. They didn't look great.
But sometimes that's a good thing.
Honestly,
Sometimes a good thing. It's good
we
to
see
get
that
ready
happen.
before the playoffs.
We see that happen with like the Chiefs sometimes, like a couple of years ago when they played the 49ers. We're like, oh, the Chiefs are not that good of a team. They get to the playoffs, different story.
Yep.
So that
Exactly. And I mean, we've seen Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford do it. I mean, you know, I hopped on playoff experience a lot, and there's two teams that have gone and won Super Bowls here, and it's the Rams and the Eagles, right? Everyone else is kind of new. And so I think that, yeah, I mean, the Rams, I would love to see them do it. It would be a great storybook ending for Matthew Stafford, I think. And you finally getting that win over the Patriots would be great.
It would be.
So I don't know, man. I really would love to see it. Rams Patriots Super Bowl would be a fun one for sure.
Hopefully, it's not 13-3. Again.
Let's go 10-3 this time. Make it.
Yeah. I mean, we all love good defenses, but I don't know. In the Super Bowl, I love seeing like pew pew pew. Like I want to see action. Like I don't want a bunch of punts.
Can it be interesting? See, that was the problem. Like a 10-3 or a 13-3 Super Bowl. Like in theory, it's like, oh, I bet there was a lot of great defensive plays, right? It's like, no, they just were both awful offensively. They just didn't do anything the whole game, pretty much.
Yep.
Like that game was awful, man. That's easily like probably one of the worst Super Bowls in recent memory.
That really is. And the fucking Patriots win the Super Bowl, and that was when.
Yeah, the highlight of the game is a punt. It's the longest punt in Super Bowl history is in that game.
Of course. Sure.
That's like the only thing that happened in that game. It's just like
that was the Maroon 5 halftime show too, and they're playing Sweet Victory from SpongeBob, and then it's like they played 2 seconds of Sweet Victory just to set up sicko mode, because Travis Scott was brought on as a guest.
That was oh god. And I will say, like, I'm not saying this to be a hater, but I legitimately I think saw one of the worst Super Bowl performances by a quarterback in that game, and I do think it was Jared Goff. I thought he played awful in that game.
Don't get me started on Jared Goff.
He was horrible in that Super Bowl, man.
Oh yeah.
My God, it was like I was watching a scared child. And the thing is, I wasn't too worried about it because he looked like that against the Saints in the NFC Championship game. He looked like a scared child, and they won. So I was like, okay, whatever. But they, quite controversially won that game.
Yeah.
But
hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was a bad Super Bowl, man.
That was
Hope that one is not
awful.
like-
And that was I'm pretty sure that was the year too that we had was that the year that we had the Chiefs Rams game that went 54-51? Yes. It's like, come on.
Yep.
Man.
And we all thought like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be the Super Bowl. It's gonna be a great high scoring game. And it was the year of the offense, they called it, and it was the most defensive Super Bowl we've ever seen.
I know defense wins championships and all, but I do not want to watch defense in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. Some people might hate on that.
Speaking on defense wins championships, look throughout these playoffs, man. A lot of really good defenses. In the
Oh yeah.
playoffs.
Well, let's be real here.
A lot of them.
You need good both. You can't be the Browns and have.
I think we've at least seen like there have been teams that make the playoffs with bad defenses just because their offense is so good, and occasionally you see a great defense carry a terrible offense. I feel like you see a lot of really balanced teams here. I think that's why these picks are so hard. Like, dude, you could tell me that the Chargers make the Super Bowl, and I'd be like, I mean, they could do it. Like,
like Jim Harbaugh's been there before, so.
I'm saying, like, yeah, I guess they could. I mean, I would believe the Packers could theoretically make the Super Bowl.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I feel like the Panthers are the only team that probably could.
No, they're gonna do it. Look, all right. So listen. So the Panthers gonna beat the Rams. They almost beat the Eagles last year, and.
You're right.
I don't. There's no world they beat There's no world they beat Seattle, but.
Hey, but what did I say? They've done it before in the playoffs. It was like 2006 or something. After Seahawks had lost the Super Bowl, they lost at home to the Panthers or something like that. Oh, it's possible.
It's possible. Anything's possible. They're gonna slime people out. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. No real big super villains in this. Maybe the Eagles a little bit, but I've honestly just a bunch of good football teams playing football, and yeah, the amount of coin flip games there are here is insane. Like if the Bills and Jags, Eagles Steelers, that's probably the worst possible outcome. That'd be the worst possible outcome. But
that would be really bad.
I think a Steelers-Packers Super Bowl would be the worst possible outcome. Like if at least the Panthers make it, it'd be fun. Like, oh yeah, look at the Panthers go. It's like
you either get the Packers or you get Aaron Rodgers winning the Super Bowl. It's
that'd be fucking
Bears fans
awful.
Worst nightmare.
That'd be awful.
Yeah.
All right.
NFC North worst nightmare, basically. Yeah.
Really. All right. Well, those were our Super Bowl predictions. Thank you to everybody that tuned in. I appreciate everybody that showed up. that were active in the chat. Jack, shout out. Shout out Luke for tuning in for a little bit. But yeah, got some good takes here. It's gonna be interesting playoffs. I love your Jaguars and Texans AFC Championship game, and then the Texans Seattle Super Bowl. I honestly would not be surprised again. So I'm excited to see what happens. I mean, games start.
We'll see. I can't wait to see how wrong our picks are.
I know. I can't wait to see how none of this be. Watch, the Chargers are going to beat the Patriots. I did see someone make that pick. The Chargers beating the Patriots. So,
Yeah.
and like that's my Super Bowl team. And I also want to point out too, neither of us took the Bills. I'm just gonna do like I said, that's a coin flip game for me. So if the Bills do end up winning that game,
if the Bills win, I'm really high
like if the Bills,
Jaguars.
here's the thing, like if the Bills,
Give me the Bills all the way.
if the Bills beat the Jaguars, give me the Bills to the Super Bowl. But that's the thing, they have to beat the Jaguars, which is tough.
That's why I'm like, no, should not be a first round game, man. I hate it.
Yep.
But that's just what you got to do, man. Somebody's dreams got to end early.
Yeah.
And if there's one team that we did not really talk about, it's the Bills, and they absolutely can win the Super Bowl because we've seen them do it. And
Oh no, we haven't.
you know,
But we see them.
I mean, well, we've seen them in the playoffs play really well. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And the boogeymen are gone for the most part. It
Yep.
is wide open, and it's just, can you get it done? And if they don't, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's ever going to happen then.
Don't say that. Don't say that. It will one day, but
It's tough, man.
it's tough. It's tough out
It
here.
happens in the years you don't expect.
Here's
So,
here's an interesting question I want to bring up before we wrap things up officially. How do you feel last year? I think it was the Lions actually that proposed this rule, but having the seeding for the playoffs, not guaranteeing a home game for every division winner. So instead of the 4 seed, the Panthers would be a 7 seed.
I personally am very opposed to this idea. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan of the NFC South. I think that I really like in football how emphasized the division is. I think that I've seen in the NBA they changed this rule so that the top seeds are not division winners. You don't get home playoff game, blah blah blah. You don't get higher seeds, and I think that it's made the idea of divisions almost completely irrelevant in the NBA. Nobody even knows what the divisions are in the NBA.
I have no idea.
I like football. I think does really well with rivalries, like all sports do. But I feel like the rivalries are so intense in football, and there's just so much bragging rights with winning your division. And part of that comes with getting a home playoff game. Like it's just, and it keeps parity around the league a little bit. I think like the fact that the Panthers get to host a playoff game, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I think that's just
so
fun.
Big for their franchise. That's so big for their franchise. It's fun. It keeps fresh faces out there, right? Like it's like, hey man, when's the last time we saw a playoff game in Carolina? It's been 10 years. It's fun to go and see that again, right?
Yeah.
You would never see that if this is the way to go. And I'm not
No.
saying like it's the worst rule in the world. Don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, do I think that the Rams have earned a little more of a chance to host a playoff game than the Panthers do? Probably, but maybe they shouldn't have lost to the Panthers then.
Yeah, exactly. The only reason why.
It's just, to me, it adds so much more to the games, and that's what makes it interesting. To me.
I mean, no doubt there. Like, it definitely. This interesting playoff bracket would not really exist without that rule in place. The reason why I bring it up, too, is because we're talking about how the Bills, like, oh, that has to be a playoff game, or, like, the first-round playoff game. Let's say, if it was the other way around, it would be the Steelers would be the 7th seed. They'd play the Patriots. All right. Would the Bills be the Bills would probably still be the 4. Or they'd be the 5, right? What's the Bills' record? Are they 13?
I think they'd still be 6.
They're 12 and
They're
5,
11
right?
and 6.
Oh, they're 11 and 6. Okay, so
They're
then
11 and 6.
they'd play a road playoff game in Houston, which I'm even more confident in picking the Texans to win against the Bills at home versus the Jaguars.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, look, you know, I very much understand the debate behind it. Do I think it's I think that there's lots of I understand why teams are like that, and I'm not saying it just because I'm a fan of a division that's been kind of bad for a while. But I think it also, like, you know, sometimes you do just see that good divisions can be brought down by, you know, the fact that the division is good and that,
Yeah.
you know, they're beating each other. And I feel like you see this a lot with the AFC North. Like, a lot of the last few years, like the Bengals, Steelers, and Browns and Ravens always just losing to each other, and like they're just really dogfighting in these divisions, and it brings down their record. But they're still really good football teams at the end of the day, right? And I think that just we should prioritize like these games being significant, and I think it's fun. You know, I think it's just really fun to get to do that, right? And it just adds so much more to winning the division. I like how big of a win that feels like in the NFL. So I don't know. I like the idea of keeping it the way it is, but do I understand why people want to change it? Yes, I do. And whatever. If it happens, it happens. I'm not going to lose sleep over it, but I would be a little sad.
Yeah. I think I'm with you there. I wouldn't, honestly, like, I wouldn't lose sleep. Like, I'd be fine either way. I like the way it is now. Honestly, for me personally, I almost prefer the 6-team playoff versus the 7-team. But I get it, too. Like, this last couple of seasons, we've had some really good 7 seeds make the playoffs. So, like, I get it. But
Yeah.
it's always fun to rehash these rules and see if there's any way you can make it better. But honestly, this year's playoffs, we got some really good matchups, so I'm happy either way. But all right, so
Let's hope they're actually fun games and not really boring. That would
no, not blowouts. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. Thank you to everybody that tuned in into this talk. Hope you like our playoff predictions. If you don't, let me know anyways in the comments below. If you haven't yet, subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Shout out Josh for tuning in and talking about